Time for my college volleyball Power 10 rankings after week 6. I very surprisingly have no changes to the top of my rankings after last week, but big shakeups for the bottom 3. Texas remains on top. That seems to be my opening line of every Power 10. Then I have Louisville and Nebraska to close out the top 3 and San Diego at number 4. All 4 teams ended the past week with wins, so I didn't make any changes there. Purdue and Stanford remain at number 5 and number 6. The Boilermakers had a close call with a 5-set win over Illinois, but Eva Hudson continues to impress. She led the team with a career night, totaling 24 kills and 17 digs. The Cardinal were up at 6 for me last week despite their loss to Oregon. They followed that up this week with a ranked win over Washington and another over Washington State. Every loss this team has is a pretty good loss if you ask me, and of course they've got a lot of ranked wins. Pitt remains at number 7, some might have them higher, but a win over OSU and BYU and unranked loss to Towson doesn't outrank the teams above. The committee revealed its top 10 with Pitt up at number 5, but I have them 2 spots below there. At number 8, welcome back Ohio State. I value ranked wins heavily, and OSU clearly has those. But they've been losing too much before this for me to have them in. But they're now 7-5 on the season. They have wins over Louisville, Georgia Tech, and BYU, and all good losses to Nebraska, Pitt, Texas, and San Diego. They have some tough matchups coming up, including dates with Penn State, Northwestern, and Minnesota. At number 9, hello, Oregon. This was a tough decision when taking into consideration strength of schedule, but it was hard not to include the Ducks when they have a 10-2 record, a win over my number 6 team, Stanford, and just 2 losses on the season, both to ranked teams in Minnesota and PSU. This record felt pretty similar to Purdue for me. The Boilermakers, too, have won big sweep over Minnesota, just like Oregon over Stanford, and they've got a loss to Louisville. And last but not least, number 10. When I tell you how torn I was between Minnesota and Wisconsin, it's not a joke. The Gophers have the head-to-head win, which was a sweep over Wisconsin, and more total ranked wins. But they also have been losing a lot lately. The Badgers just swept Penn State over the weekend, whereas Minnesota was upset by Northwestern in 5. I mean, who do you go for? I'm going with Minnesota for now. I know they've been inconsistent, but Northwestern is still a really good team. Wisconsin is moving in the right direction. They looked good against Penn State and very well could have been kept in. But when I'm so torn like that, it made the most sense to go with the head-to-head matchup. I'll be watching closely, though, moving forward. So there you go, my top 10 this week. What a great year we have going. Let me know your thoughts on the Power 10, and I'll see you next Monday.